Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to continue working on the 67 Mustang Fastback, and let me show you what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to go ahead and brush this and sand it down, get it as smooth as possible, and then I'm going to go ahead and sand this whole area down right here, and all that right here, over here, all the way around. And then after all of that is done, I'm going to use the primer to go over the edges after I sand it down, and then we're going to start fitting the bottom section of the cowl. Alright, so I made my last bracket, so that's gonna go in here like that, and I'm gonna spot weld it, and then I'm gonna weld the edge right here. I try to match the curve and the cut and this little tab that sticks out, which is the same thing on that side as well, so it's gonna look pretty good. So now what I have to do is make some holes right here in the firewall. A primer real quick with the welding primer, so that's protected. We're gonna weld it up, and then after that's done, we're gonna get to prepping this spot and that spot. I welded it up. And I sprayed this with welding primer. I brushed the whole area, so I pretty much got everything removed, all the loose rust as much as I could, vacuumed everything, cleaned up everything, and then I used the encapsulator on the rust spots. I didn't do the whole thing with the encapsulator because if there's primer, it doesn't really matter. It's mostly for surface rust. So, but I made sure to cover all the rust spots, and then when that dried, then I did the bedliner coating over that. And that's how the bottom cowl sits. So yeah, I'll have to play with it some more. I gotta basically align up these holes, this hole on here on this side, same thing on the other side, and then this hole right here as well. Maybe I'll use like thick bolts, just kind of put them in there so that's aligned. Yeah, just do a couple bolts here as well, just align it so it's nice and solid and sitting there. Before I start welding, you want to just sit as perfect as possible this piece before you weld it in. Made sure I got all the holes lined up on this side, over here. These ones lined up, other side lined up. Everything is good. I trimmed the section right here on both ends because it was a little bit too long. And then I used metal hole puncher. It makes little spot weld holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a step drill, and I'm going to drill it about twice as big as that. So now what I need to finish is drilling some of these holes that I could not reach, and then use a step drill to go around to do all of them to make them a little bit bigger, twice as big, and then we're gonna start welding. All right, let's continue on. Let's go. So here's a quick update. First of all, my voice is gone because I got a flu. All the spot welds are done. I'd probably use one of these bits to knock down the spot welds just a little bit, and it'll be easier to get them sanded down. And then here, what I did is I threw the rust encapsulator because there was some surface rust. So that was protected and got these edges to the bare metal. And then I primered it with the weld-through primer as before. And then after that dried, I put tape on here. And then I sprayed it with bedliner coating with this guy. So this is pretty much ready to be welded on here. Now what I gotta do is I gotta knock these down, smooth it out, throw this primer on the edge, and then put this guy on top. Let's go. still have to wait for this welding primer to dry. And then I can put the tape on the edges, scuff this area, and do the same thing. Same kind of paint, bedliner spray on the inside. So that's going to be protected as well. We welded the bottom. I scuffed the panel, got all nice and clean. I used seam sealer around the cones right here. I put tape on here because I don't want to coat this stuff. So now I can go ahead and put the top panel on, because the top panel is coated with this stuff as well underneath. And then I can start welding. I actually went ahead and left this side right here untaped because the water goes this way. So I kind of left it that way. I guess maybe I should have coated that, but it's okay. It's gonna be covered with the seam sealer. I went on Eastwood and I got some more seam sealer. All right, let's go. I got all the spot welds grinded down with the carbine bit, this guy, and so far it's looking pretty good. There's still this one spot right here that I gotta cut out like a little square and get this welded up. I'm probably gonna do a little strip right here and weld this guy up, but for now I'm gonna leave this bracket off because I'm still waiting for seam sealer from Eastwood. It should be here in a few days, and then I'm also gonna throw I bought a couple of more of these cans. 2K aerosol spray epoxy primer. Basically, it's kind of like a two-step primer. You break the inside. There's a hardener inside. You break that inside, then you mix this together, shake it, mix it, and then it becomes a primer, like a obviously epoxy primer, which is a lot stronger than a regular primer out of a can. And I want to primer all these edges. And then once all that is nice and primered, then I'm gonna use the seam sealer. Once this is seam sealed and primered, then I can install this bracket right here, because I don't wanna, it's gonna be a little harder if I install the bracket and try to get in here and primer and all that stuff. So I'm gonna leave this bracket off, finish this spot, and then I'm gonna install the new brackets on there that I got. This guy right here. Go to my playlist if you wanna see other Mustang stuff, F350 stuff, other projects that I did. All of that stuff is organized in my playlist. And if you go to the description, if you want to buy any of this stuff that I'm using, tools, whatever, that's in the description as well, to the links to the Amazon if you want to check them out. So guys, that'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the comments. We'll see you in the next one.